Happy Saturday or greetings whenever you're joining us. My name is Caitlin. This is Comeback Yoga's Level 2 Saturday morning class. This month we've been focusing on mindfulness, and our last practice is focused on reflection. Don't worry, if journals aren't your thing, no big deal. The last practice is typically reflective of what we've done in the past month. You don't have to have joined us earlier this month at all, and there are no journals involved. It'll be an easy, but hopefully an easy pace, hopefully challenging practice to warm up your Saturday morning. And I'm thinking it'll probably be about 40 minutes, maybe 35. Whatever it is, however long we're here, every single minute is yours. So if ever I'm showing a pose that you don't want to do, or trying something that you know you'll regret later, don't do that thing. Know that we will move on. Maybe choose something, a pose or a shape that you would like to, or take a break. I have my water here. I recommend grabbing some water. Also, for your practice today, I recommend grabbing a blanket. I've rolled up a blanket here, or like a long pillow, or just a regular pillow. You could like squish it in half, um, or a towel. Just something soft that's a little girthy for our practice today. We're going to get started on our back. So get there, take your time. I'm going to lay my blanket long ways on my mat, and then I'm going to back up, or lay back onto my blanket. So maybe the head falls back on the mat, or maybe it's supported by the blanket. If this is too intense, no worries. You can lose it and maybe just shimmy your shoulders together to make a little shelf for your heart. You might want to extend your legs long. Maybe your hands are resting on your belly, or maybe they're palms open down at your sides. Sometimes it feels strange to wake up and then lay down on our mat, but this time is important to arrive, to ground ourselves. So much of what we do on the mat is almost like practice or training for everything we're doing off of it. This grounding, this arriving, this settling in, taking stock of where you rest, where you've landed. It's all important stuff. Take a few moments to get here, whatever here looks like for you. And settle in. See if you can find some ease. The shape might feel really strange. Of course, pain is not a practice of yoga, so if you find this painful, like it's adding pain, ditch it. Forget about it. You don't need it. What you can do is perhaps take a relaxing pose and find your heart elevated in some way. And wherever you are, even if this feels strange, check in with your breath. Recognize your breath as a tool to help you settle in, find a little bit of ease, even in strangeness or uncomfortability. If we hear some thoughts from my doggo Tucker, just know that he's joining us from the stairwell. Okay. Hopefully you've checked in with your breath. And now let's think about relaxing our shoulders, finding a pose with your arms and with your shoulders that's comfortable. Maybe they're hugging where you rest, or settling, supporting on the mat. I'll take 3 breaths here, just bringing about this idea of openness. Openness in the chest, in the front body, openness in the mind. Beautiful. From here, we're going to find a reclined figure four. So, or next, maybe not from here. So, a reclined figure four is going to have our knees bent and one ankle crossed over the other. You might want to ditch the blanket or the towel that you rest on. Maybe you want to try it with it. Go for it. I'm going to ditch it. I'm going to set it aside actually for later. Okay. So I'm resting on the mat. I have the soles of my feet touching the mat, and then I'm going to lift my right sole and cross my right ankle over my left thigh. Right knee comes out to the side. You can bring your right hand to the right thigh, pressing away from your abdomen to maybe deepen the stretch. Some people do this. I honestly never feel a deeper stretch here, but give it a try. Why not? If you want to try a more intense stretch, if this isn't enough, you might lift your legs up towards your chest. So I'm going to bring my left foot high and I'm going to hold on to my legs with my hands. So you can be up here, down here, anywhere in between. Just thinking about opening the hips, especially the right hip, and keeping our lovely tall upper body resting on the mat. Letting this just be in our lower limbs. Okay, from here I'm going to find a supine twist. Be very gentle with yourself if you've left a bolster behind you, because you're going to slip off that bolster probably. Your left, oh, camera. Okay, your right hip is going to stack on top of your left, and we're going to put the bolster aside. Find the mat with both shoulder blades. You might look over your right shoulder to deepen the stretch. Letting this be gentle and easy. As we warm up, just introduce a gentle twist in the body. All that to say, it's kind of common sometimes when people want to feel our spinal alignment here, kind of some clicking and clacking and so relaxing. Sometimes that happens here, but especially when we're in the supine twist in the beginning of practice, we want it to be really gentle and easy, not to get ahead of ourselves. And all of that, if you feel a release here, great. And then we're going to unwind and switch it out. So if you tried your figure four, crossing your right ankle under the bolster, you might bring it back and try it here, just elevating the chest, finding a deeper hip stretch. If you didn't on the other side, don't do it on this side. And then we're going to cross the left leg over right thigh. Maybe you press the left thigh away to deepen the stretch. Maybe you hover your right toes, your right foot off the ground, and hold on to your legs with your hands. Wherever you are, allowing the stretch to be in the lower body and resting the upper body on the mat. Beautiful. Let's do this for 3 more breaths. And when you're ready, we will find a supine twist on the opposite side. So I'm going to let my knees drop to the right side of the mat. My left hip's going to stack over my right. You might look over your left shoulder to deepen the twist. Let's do this for 3 more breaths here. Just a gentle settling in. warming up. As you're ready, brace your core before you unwind, and then we're for sure going to put that bolster to the side if it isn't already, and we're going to come up through seated, into our tabletop position. So take your time getting there. I'm going to have my hands underneath my shoulders, my knees underneath my hips. I'm going to find my cat cows. So for a cow, we drop the belly, point the tailbone and the nose for the sky. As we breathe in, as we exhale, we find our Halloween cat hollowing out the front body, rounding the spine, tucking the tailbone, tucking the chin to chest, and then moving here on your own with your breath. So don't worry so much what I'm doing. Just listen to your breath. Move in and out of these poses as feels good for you. Bring some gentle warming, maybe not so gentle warming, some really intentional warming into the spine. You can, of course, circle your shoulders as you move through these poses, or keep them steady. And as you're ready, we are going to find a child's pose with a little bit of a twist. So I'm going to bring my knees wide, toes come together. I'm going to sink my hips down towards my heels, and then I'm going to walk my hands first forward so my head falls towards the mat. Maybe the forehead can rest on the mat. Then from there, I'm going to walk my hands over slowly, little weight on the palms, to the right side, just going as far as feels good. I'm going to allow my head to follow. And I'm just going to find a gentle opening in the left side body by twisting or bending this child's pose over to the right. Breathing here for 5 breaths. Thinking about a long spine like we always do in child's pose, and perhaps noticing that bend, how it feels to bend laterally right now. This can be a really intense pose, especially in the lower body if we're feeling tight in the hips and the hamstrings. It can also be really restful for some people. Just notice how it feels for you. And then with intention, we'll come through center, walking the hands first, and then moving the head to support it. And then we'll come over to the left side. Don't want to knock over my water. Okay. So settling the head to the mat as much as possible. Really breathing all the way from the pinky side edge of the hand, the left hand, along the, or right hand, sorry, along the right side body to the right hip. Expanding through the shoulder blades and drawing them away from the ears so we're not diving our hands forward, but really intentionally settling the upper body towards the mat to find a long spine. For 2 more breaths here. Nice, and when you're ready, we'll come back through center. And then we're going to come up into our tabletop and find our downward facing dog. Of course, you can always skip down dog if you don't want your head under your heart. You can stay in tabletop and hover your knees by tucking your toes or even pressing the tops of the feet into the ground, or you can stay in child's pose, whatever you'd like here. If we're in down dog, our hips are high, tailbone's pointing for the sky, and then I'm going to consciously let go of the muscles of the backs of the legs. So my calves are always like, I'm here, I've arrived. Let them go, let them settle. Yes, we know. That'll allow your heels to fall wherever they may. There's no pressure to get them down to the mat, but they might naturally come a little closer once you relax the muscles of the calves and the hamstrings. Think about the head being heavy here, drawing the chest towards the thighs. So strong. Wherever you are, let's find stillness or a bit of settling in for 5 seconds. 3 breaths. When you're ready, we will come to stand at the front of the mat. So get there however feels good for you. I'm going to come through tabletop today and step forward. Cool. We've arrived. From here, we're going to go straight to chair pose. So my feet are underneath my hips, hips width distance. I'm going to draw my thighs in towards one another. Knees are aligned, and then my weight comes into my heels, so much so that maybe your toes can wiggle. I'm going to point my tailbone for the mat, and I'm going to sink my tailbone down towards the mat by bending my knees, keeping a tall spine as much as possible. If and when you need to, you can draw your chest towards the front of the mat. We want to still keep that engagement that we're tucking the tailbone. From here, your hands can come in front of your chest, the heart center, or they can lift high. You want your biceps to be beside your ears. Drawing the shoulders away from the ears, engaging the core. So draw your navel into spine or knit your ribs together. Brace the core to help you support you in this really strong position and challenging position. So maybe use your breath here, allowing your body to expand as you inhale and allowing your shoulders to settle as you exhale for 2 more breaths. I know you're working. You decide how deep you bend the knees here. And then when you're ready, we'll stand up and we're going to step the left foot straight back for warrior 2. So my left heel is going to come down. My left toe is pointing out to the left side of the mat and my right knee is bent. I'm going to orient my shoulders towards the left side of the mat. And then my right hand is going to float over my right knee. My left hand is going to come behind. So my hands are in a T. And my head is over my heart, over my hips. So I'm not laterally leaning. You got it. You're warrior 2. Come to this position often in yoga. What does it mean for you today? For 3 breaths. Settling in. So strong. From here, we're going to slide the front body towards the front of the mat, and then I'm going to bring my right hand down to my right leg or inside my right thigh. Elbow can even find the thigh. I'm going to bring my left hand down towards my right hand, and then like a paintbrush, I'm going to paint it up, and as I do, I'm going to open my chest. Allow it to flick it open just like you're laying some thick paint on there. Then your left hand might lift, or it might come to your hips here. So this is extended side angle. And what we build here is a lot of strong foundation. We have this engagement from the feet with the mat, and from the resting hand or the supporting hand on the leg, the right leg. We have a lot of engagement, a lot of intention in the core and the obliques, supporting all of the upper body, even the lower body, think about it, with the strength of your core, your abdomen, so that we're not dumping into our front leg, but really reaching through the crown of the head, finding integrity along the spine. So strong. I know you're working. I was talking through it. Are you distracted? From here, we're going to find reverse warrior. So we're going to lift the right hand high. Left hand can stay on the hip or drop down. Maybe your gaze is towards your right hand. The legs stay where they've been the whole time. For warrior two and extended side angle, we have a strong foundation. Keeps us there. Let's breathe here for 3 more breaths, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. So keeping that integrity in the center line. Making this your pose. So strong. From here, I'm going to drop the front hand. I'm going to find warrior one or crescent lunge. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop up my left heel and my left toes are going to point towards the front of the mat. So take time to get there with intention. I think when we move too quickly, that's where I get injured. All right. So I have this bend in my right knee still. My left heel is popped. I'm going to lift my hands high, drawing my thumbs towards the back of the mat. So really opening the chest as much as possible. Drawing the armpits down towards the hips, reaching the fingers tall. So strong. From here, when you're ready, you're going to sweep the hands back. So forward first, and then behind, reaching the pinkies now towards the back of the mat. And you'll notice the chest hinges forward. You still want to reach through the crown of the head. So you have this long line of energy from the left heel all the way to the crown. It's for our crescent lunge with our airplane arms, thinking about shining the triceps for the ceiling, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Okay. From here, you're hinging forward a little bit from your hips. You have the option to go into full airplane. What that looks like is bringing more weight, bending deeper into your right knee, and then stepping the left foot forward, maybe straightening the right leg, and maybe hovering or kickstanding the left foot. Still keeping the upper body proud, lifted, pinkies are reaching for the back, shoulders are drawing away from the ears, chest is open. So this is our peak pose, really pressing into all the toes of the front foot. Come in and out of it as you need, building strength, building balance. Make it what you want for 2 more breaths, your airplane or your crescent lunge with airplane arms. And when you're ready, we will step forward for our mountain pose. Really rooting from the mat, pressing as much of the feet as we can into the mat, reaching through the crown of the head, engaging the core along the way. Fingers draw away from the shoulders. Shoulders draw away from the ears. Creating space in the hips, perhaps by drawing the heels away from one another energetically. As you're ready, we will find our chair pose. So from here, bring your weight into your heels, sink down, you decide how deep you bend. Arms may lift, they may come to palms together in front of your chest for 5 breaths. So strong. For 2 more breaths. When you're ready, straighten the legs, step the right foot back, warrior two. Create your strong foundation before you open the fingers, finding your warrior two on this side. Really nice. 3 more breaths. Extended side angle. I'm going to brace my obliques, brace my core, slide the upper body towards the front of the mat, and then find left hand to the left thigh, really opening the chest towards the right side of the mat. Maybe right hand lifts high, maybe it comes to your hips. Gaze can be above or below. Once you've arrived, 4 more breaths. Really strong and tall. Nice. Reverse the warrior. Left hand floats high, right hand can come down. Still drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Checking in that your left knee isn't coming in towards center. Pressing the left knee out to the left side. 3 more breaths here. So strong. From here, let's let that lifted hand go down. We're going to point the right toes for the front of the mat for warrior one or crescent lunge. Take your time getting there. Once you're ready, lift the hands high. So strong. You can, of course, keep that bracing in the core and then energetically draw your thighs towards one another, like you're going to slip some scissors closed to square your hips towards the front of the mat. Beautiful. From here, airplane arms. Sweep the hands forward and then back. Pinkies reach. Triceps shine for the ceiling. And from here, if you would like, find an airplane. So I'm going to deepen the bend in my left leg. I'm going to step my right foot forward, straighten my left foot so that my weight comes onto my left foot, pressing the mat away. My right foot might float or kickstand. Still keeping this really proud open chest in the upper body, pressing the toes of the left leg as much as possible into the mat, like pressing it away. Pointing the smaller toes of the right foot towards the mat. If your leg is lifted, come in and out of this as you need. Yeah, make it yours for 2 breaths. When you're ready, mountain pose. Right foot comes forward. Find your chair. Two breaths here. We're going to do that one more time through. We'll come to standing. Step the left foot back, warrior two. Build the foundation. Arrive into your shape. 5 breaths here. Noticing how this might be different from your first warrior two. Awesome job. Extended side angle. Engage your core. Use your obliques to support you. Build the shape. And then find some ease. 4 more breaths. Reverse warrior. We're going to float the right hand high. I'm going to drop my left hand down. It can always stay on the waist. Noticing how it feels this time around on this side. Amazing. From here, drop the front hand. Warrior one or crescent lunge. So intentionally pop the left heel up and find your shape and then settle in. Nice. 4 more breaths. Great job. Okay, we're going to sweep the hands forward and then back for airplane arms. I know this right leg is working. Building strength. Making it your practice. As you're ready, last airplane on this side if you'd like. Give it a practice. Be here for 3 more breaths. And then step the left foot forward, mountain pose. Building it from the ground up, reaching tall. Amazing. So nice. As you're ready, we'll do the same on the other side for the last time. We will step the right foot back, warrior two. Oh, we missed our chair. It's okay. We'll come back to it. Warrior two. Perhaps noticing how the right leg feels here. Did so much work for us in the last sequence. This new shape. Finding integrity in both sides of your foundation. Extended side angle, bracing the core to slide forward, and then drop the left hand to left thigh. Right hand might lift high, might come to the waist. 5 breaths here. Checking in with the left knee, that it's pressing out to the left. For 2 more breaths. Reverse warrior. Let's lift the left hand high. Right hand can come along the right leg or stay on the hip. This foundation of our legs really hasn't moved yet since warrior two. Pressing the mat away, rooting down to grow tall, to build all that's above it. Awesome. We're going to drop the left hand down. Right heel is going to pop up, so be kind to your knees. Find your center, build that foundation, and then lift the hands. So it's really strong. Last crescent lunge. A lot of intention. For your crescent with airplane arms, sweeping the arms forward, pinkies draw back, shoulders draw away from the ears. So the gaze is, of course, in front of the mat. You don't want to arch your neck so much. Thinking about the crown of the head and the back heel being one long line of energy. If you'd like, try airplane on this side. Notice how it may feel different from other times you tried it. Be here for 5 breaths. Wherever you are, make this yours. Pressing the mat away with the left foot as much as possible. And then when you're ready, mountain. Let's sink into our chair pose one last time. You decide how deep you bend for 3 more breaths. Nice. Fantastic. Let it go. We're going to meet on the mat. We did it. Okay, let's find our butterfly pose. I'm going to bring the soles of my feet together, the knees wide. And then I'm going to fold forward, even if it's just like with your intention, like with your chin. Just come forward a little bit to deepen the stretch in your hips. And of course, you can walk your heels out further away from your body to create more space to fold forward. Really thinking about allowing the weight of the upper body to create some leverage in this stretch of our hips, drawing the knees down towards the mat. Gathering the breath. Thinking about breathing, expanding through the back body. Some space there where maybe our front body's a little scrunched in. It's okay. The back body's got you. Two more breaths here. Wonderful. And then as you're ready, I'm going to grab my bolster, or this is not a bolster, it's just a rug, it's a blanket. I'm going to lay back, and I'm going to bring the pillow or towel or blanket underneath my hips. Might feel a little strange. Okay. And then I'm going to lift my legs. So this time the blanket is kind of like laying across the mat instead of alongside it or with it. perpendicular to the mat. So I'm just elevating my hips here, and then I'm going to point my heels for the ceiling. If you didn't have a mat or a towel or a block, don't worry. It's basically the same thing. Just lift your heels towards the ceiling. Really ground the shoulders to the mat. Reversing the flow of energy in our body. This pose actually legs up the wall. It's really great if you're trying to fall asleep, which you might not be doing this morning, but that's okay. If ever you find yourself struggling to sleep, this pose taps into our parasympathetic nervous system. It takes over when we sleep. You might notice my legs are shaking. That's okay. Just be kind to yourself. I'm gonna bend my knees to get the blood flowing. Let's do 2 more breaths here together at your pace. I'm going to let it fall away. So I'm going to release the bolster. I made an executive decision for myself. We're just going to take our last pose. So you can keep the bolster. You can do whatever you want. This is our last shape for the practice. It's always yogi's choice. So I like to settle back with my legs extended long, feet resting out towards the side, hands resting beside me. Find the mat with both shoulder blades and shimmy them together. Create a shelf for the heart. You might be resting on your side, you might be in a comfortable seat. Wherever you are, bring your awareness to your breath. As you inhale, allow the abdomen to expand, to get really wide and big. As you exhale, let something go. Settle in. We'll do that twice more. Really consciously releasing the muscles. There's no real need to keep anything engaged unless you're in a seat. Even then, make it as gentle and as comfortable as possible. For these few moments of rest, we think of them as sealing our practice. Taking time to rest. Perhaps noticing that we are fully supported where we rest. And you might close your eyes or soften your gaze, bring your thoughts inward to the practice that we've just done together. There may have been a moment or two of frustration or challenge. There may have been moments of accomplishment, satisfaction, so many other emotions, things in between. As we recognize how we went through this practice, what we found there, we might recognize that we are both our experiences of challenge and joy. They all make us who we are. Who you are is good, my friend. Let that fall away and find a moment of gratitude, perhaps for taking this time for yourself, for whatever comes to mind that you are thankful for. We're going to bring it all together. Inhale, fill up with all of that good stuff, and exhale, send it out. On your next inhale, fill up with the good. On the exhale, send it out. And as you're ready, we will close out our practice together. I'm going to come to a seat. To close out my practice, you might come to there too. Move with intention. Be kind to yourself. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. I'm going to bring my hands together in front of my chest. I like to rub my hands together, create a bit of heat, and then I stack them over my heart. You're important already. You always were. Your presence is treasured. It really means so much to me that you allow me to guide you in this practice. Thank you for showing up for you, for showing up on your mat this morning. Thank you for sharing this with me and with everyone else practicing. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.